everyone, it's me, Jason, here at North of Exile Games. I am super excited today because I have a rare opportunity. You don't get to play Magic with Richard Garfield very often. You don't get to talk about creation with God, but today I get to play a game of Genesis Battle of Champions with Sid, the creator of the game, the man behind the madness. He's here at North of Exile Games. He's going to whip me so good, and I'm going to love every moment of it. Sid, thanks for coming up today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I don't get to play as much as I used to, and it's going to be fun. It's one thing to be compared to Richard Garfield. It's a whole other thing to be compared to God. So that's
well, you created a whole world here. You've got, these regions and these tribes and this lore, and like you're behind a lot of stuff besides just the card game. So
that's fair.
So I'm excited. We've known each other a little while, but this would be the first time I've ever actually had a chance to play the game with you. So
that's true.
Just the novelty of it, of playing with the guy who made the game, is pretty exciting. Right. So in a second, we're going to sit across the table from each other. I'm going to have, it's worth mentioning, Genesis has a really cool phone app that I love using for keeping track of aura and life counters and that. So I'm going to have that on the screen. I didn't have time to set up a third camera today, so you're just going to be able to see my phone app and keep track of my aura and that. But we'll talk back and forth while we play to make sure the viewers at home get an idea of where you're at with your aura and your health points during the game.
Yes.
And when I've suffered long enough, he is going to mercifully kill me and claim victory, as only a god could do. So with that, we're going to cut away for a second. We'll be right back playing a game of Genesis Battle of the Champions.
Yes.
All right, so we're all set up. I've got my gorgeous foil champion, Raha here. One of the benefits of being a Patreon subscriber is they're going to be getting some awesome foils in the future. Me being a video content creator, I got a little preview ahead of time. I'm super excited. It looks gorgeous. You have to see them in person.
Yeah, the video doesn't do it justice.
No. And then you're playing as who today?
I'm playing as Kunn.
Very cool.
So one of the new champions from RAZE.
Yep.
So if you don't know what he does, he has the heavy holy attack of 2.
Okay.
He has dash, so at the beginning of his turn triggers and allows him to move. So he doesn't get to rotate with that, but he gets to move.
Yep.
And then he has flight built in, so he can move on to occupied spot.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's very fast.
Hence the wings. Makes sense.
Yes.
All right, so we'll roll some dice. You gets to go first all game. Sound good? I've rolled an 8.
I got 6.
I think I'm going to try and be aggressive and go first all game.
All right. Let's do this.
Good luck to you.
You too.
Creator of the game.
Interesting.
This is going to be fun. All right, I'm actually nervous. I'm realizing now as I play that it's weird to say, but I'm definitely nervous about my first time. I'm going to move ahead 1. It'll probably be a mistake. I'm sure I'll regret it later. And then I'm going to do some summoning, do some beckoning, I should say, bring out some summons. Oh, look at this gorgeous card that I've got here. A full art. Eradicating Tarantula. That's pretty cool. So it's going to cost me 12 aura. So 5, 10, 12 aura. And of course, when you beckon something, it gets exerted right away. Oh, and I'm sure I'm going to make lots of rules mistakes here. It'll be great. You'll be here and you'll be like, that's not how the game works. It'll be perfect. I'll be like, I'm sorry.
I was at Torchlight the other night and I played against the community there. And I did a bunch of things that they're like, oh, I didn't know you can even do that. I'm like, well, this is some of the advantages of playing against me, right? Especially casually and when there isn't the pressure to win.
So I did, we just got a shipment of RAZE singles in today, conveniently, and I may have snuck 1 or 2 new singles into my deck. This is my first time ever beckoning a Martial Sentry, which is pretty cool. I love the Sentry. So that's another 10 aura off my total, 5, 10. That brings me down to 73 aura left. And then I think that's going to be it for my turn. So these guys are both going to be exerted. And then it's over to you, kind sir and creator.
Okay. In turn, I get the dash. So it's dash there.
That's pretty cool. It's like a bonus move, right?
Yep. Then I get my 2 moves. I will... how do I want to approach this?
Preferably extremely cautiously.
Let's go twice there.
Okay.
And I'm going to play Wind Slash. So a new card from RAZE. Costs 5 aura. And 2 energy. So I only mill 1. And it just does 2 air damage.
Okay, that'll be enough to wipe out my guy.
Yep.
That seems horrible.
It's such a good card.
I'm learning already.
And that's it for me.
Okay, so starting your round, we each draw a card. Oh, what do I want to do? Well, I think I'm going to move over 1.
All right.
And then, looking at my stuff here, I'm going to do an action. I'm going to be playing Searing Light, which costs me 7 aura. 5, 6, 7. And it's going to try and do 2 holy damage to you.
You got it.
Holy damage.
I'm down to 24.
Excellent. And then for me, I'll just do Raha's normal attack, which does, is it 2 damage?
Yep, 2 damage. So I'm down to 22.
And then Raha is exerted.
Okay.
It's over to you.
So you can move up to 2 spots. Gives you 2 damage there. So I'm still within a red zone. I figure if I talk out loud, people can know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I
so
think
big
that's
thing,
great.
Like, I don't know if other people can do this, but when I look at the grid, I can almost superimpose like where are all the places the character can move. So you get this like diamond.
Yeah.
And then from there, so I see the red zones, which are the areas that you can attack from, and then where are the green zones, where are the safest places. So let's dash back 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna move back 1.
Nice.
I'm gonna bring out my own Goliath, my own spider. So that's Goliath Sphinx Eater.
Very cool.
Brings me down to 85 aura. And that's where I'm gonna end my turn.
And what are you using for exert tokens today?
So these were coins that I got from a Patreon, not Patreon, a Kickstarter program.
Okay.
It was a friend of a friend who was doing a Kickstarter program. I backed it for I think just like $5 or $10, but they gave me all these like really really pretty coins.
Nice.
So I've just been using them for a long time.
Very
Eventually,
cool.
I want to get more coins like this. This was the 1-year anniversary coin.
The Genesis poker chip. I love it.
So we didn't do one on the 2-year anniversary, but you know there might be something special coming for the 3-year anniversary.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. For me, I still have one
The tarantula
guy left here. Knowing that you can dash 1 and then move 2 more. And what's his awareness? It's just 1.
Just
right?
1 spot in front, but remember he only has a heavy attack, so he's still, even though he can move 3 spots, he can only move 2 spots and attack.
Oh, okay. All right. So I think I'm gonna go 1, 2, and just exert like that.
Right. You got it. Next round?
Next round it is.
Round 3. Ooh, that's a pretty card.
All right. So for me, you said that Kunn's only attack is or Kunn's only attack is a heavy attack, right?
Attack, yeah.
So I'm going to move over 2 and do a swift attack with
3.
my spider because I'd like it to do something before it dies or painful death.
Yeah, I'll take 3. Puts me down to 19.
All right.
What shall I do?
Now the question you must be asking yourself, I'm sure is he really that stupid? Or does he have like some really deep strategy he's playing against me? And I want to assure you it's the second option. I'm actually playing a really deep strategy that you haven't deciphered yet. So definitely play cautiously thinking of that. Because even I don't know what tricks I have up my sleeve right now.
That's difficult. So like the thing was when the game was just alpha, it was really, really easy to predict everything your opponent was going to do. There were only a few, out of the 90 cards in the set, there was about 25, 30 cards that were like really heavily played. Mm-hmm. So you knew what your opponent was going to do. Welcome to JLR spiced things up and you couldn't predict every single move, but you could predict about 50% of the moves. With RAZE now, it's really, really hard to predict everything your opponent's going to do.
Nice.
So, you're like, oh, traditionally, this is what he'd do in this situation. But now you're like, there's a chance that they just don't have those cards in their deck. So I'm going to dash. Okay. We talked about kind of having flight. So I'm going to fly over the tarantula right there.
Nice. Yeah.
And then drop a Hurricane Sweep. So Hurricane Sweep does 3 air damage to the 4 adjacent squares.
Oh, but if I had a Swift, I could probably respond to that,
yes,
right?
you can respond.
So,
and that costs me 10 aura, putting me down to 75 aura.
Oh, let's see if this works. Does this work the way I want it to work? Cognitive
Switch? Yes, it would actually negate the attack.
So I'm going to pay 17 aura as I wake my phone back up here. 17 aura. 5, 10, 15.
So from like magic terms, you can kind of see this as like the hard counter spell. It counters anything that a player's going to do. The only thing you can't counter is the actual moves. But in a case like I guess not Kunn or Nubia, but like who has a triggered ability that activates? Oh, it's okay. But like even on champions like built-in abilities, you could do that. So Idris plays Fireball, you can actually cognitive Fireball.
Great, it's a catch-all.
Yep. So that negates the Hurricane Sweep, which is fine. Since I moved twice, I can't do my heavy attack. So looks like I'm just going to end my turn there.
Okay. So then I get to do something now.
Yeah. Haven't seen Cog Restrict in a very long time. Didn't even think about that. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just so many cards now that it's hard to think of every move your opponent can do.
So you did play a card and it looked like fun. I think I'm going to try it myself.
Hurricane Sweep?
I'm going to do a Hurricane Sweep. So I do have an energy reduction of 1, so I'll be basically milling 3 cards. 1, 2, 3 instead of 4, and I'll be paying 10 aura. Right, 10?
Yes.
5, 10. So I'm down to 39 aura for those keeping track at home. And it's going to hit you for free unless you have a response. I'm going to respond to
that. I'm going to play Gust.
Okay.
So bring me down to 63 aura. That's going to do 2 air damage and push you back 1 spot.
I wonder, what should I do? And that's not an attack, right?
Nope, it's a cast ability.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, in that case...
I really got to swap these out for the beta artwork, because the beta artwork at least has characters from my own tribe.
What would happen if I paid 12 and tried to gust you before you gust me?
So normally, in a regular situation, your gust, the push wouldn't go through because there is something blocking me, but since I have flight, I would just get pushed onto that spot with it. Yeah, you got it. So that's resolving. I'm taking 2, going down to 17. That pushes me back onto the tarantula. Mine strikes resolve, but since you're no longer in front of me, it does nothing. Now your sweep goes off, but I'm no longer there.
All right, and then before I end my turn with Raha, I might as well get my normal attack in for 2 more.
Down to 15.
Excellent. Well, so far, so good.
What are you're still at the 22?
Yes. Yes, I am.
All right. Sphinx Eater will move here and shoot the tarantula for 2.
Okay, that's enough to kill it, right?
Nope. It has 4 health.
Oh, it's 4 on this guy. That's right. That's why I like him.
Yeah, the tarantula is like the mini giant scorpion.
And then we'll start a new round.
Yep. So we're now on to round 4.
Speaking of giant scorpion, a quick question while we're playing. What is your favorite summon in the game right now? What's your favorite creature to bring out?
So favorite is a very vague way. Favorite to bring out, Zamber Dragon.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things that, 1, it's a dragon. It's very beastly. 2, like Sky was a very big deal, and playing Sky was really, really fun. But also a lot of people I think underestimate how devastating the Zamber Dragon really is. It's a lot better than of a card than people give it credit for.
Nice.
But favorite in there's so many other favorites favorite
I know
I could dig into it. I could dig into
artwork, favorite. Yeah.
There's ones I have sentimental attachment to. I love the Goliath Sphinx Eater. It's probably my favorite summon out of RAZE. But yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be moving my tarantula back.
Okay.
1.
You got it.
And then I'm going to try and hit you for 3 with the tarantula.
I'm gonna play Bolt Shot in response.
Yep.
So Bolt Shot does 4 damage to everything in that awareness.
Wow, is that ever good?
Yeah.
That's an attack though, right?
Yes, it is.
So what if I tried to do Gale?
Yeah, so Gale will force me to pay 5, but I have the reduction.
Yep.
So I'm paying 4. Yeah, I'll pay it. That's fine with me.
Okay. And then what if I paid another 5 aura and did it again?
You got it. I'll pay another 4.
It's a game of dwindling resources, but I wanted to make you earn it. Right?
Yeah.
So
I think those type of cards are very, very interesting. And if I had my way of how mill as a strategy would work in this game, I think more cards like that would be a really, really good thing. So we have Gale, we have Treacherous Train, we have Tornado Winds. There's quite a few cards already that start doing those things. I think more of them will be really, really good.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to wind up taking 4 damage to myself, and my poor Tarantula is no more at this point.
Yeah. Ego better.
So
I dealt damage.
Yes, you did. From 22 down to 18.
Yeah.
All right. And that what was that? My Tarantula's turn.
Yes. Yeah.
So then it'd be your turn.
Yep.
I just want to thank you for going easy on me at first so that it wasn't a complete blowout. It was very considerate of you. You are a kind and benevolent God and creator of worlds.
I think so this is my second time playing with this deck. I had a lot of theories. I'll break it down a little bit after this game's done, how I built this deck. Mm-hmm. I don't know how well it's going to do in the long run, but right now it's been pretty fun. I have a lot of attachment to Kunn. Let me just finish my turn and I'll explain why. You have 1 card in hand, huh?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to play the slow game and get the Sphinx Eater up here.
Okay.
So when we had the championship, the 2019 championship, that's when we announced to everyone who the next 4 champions were going to be. But we did something that was really clever. So during the first half of the championship, all of the game designers, or 4 game designers, each of us picked a city, and we represented that city during the championship.
Nice.
So I was Vadhis, I believe Carl was Ajna, Lionel was Sahas, and JC was Vishud. So we all came in with champions from those areas. So I brought in a Raha deck, there was a Fong deck, I believe, Kendra, and Malik. But then at the lunch break, or dinner break, we revealed to everyone who the next 4 champions were. And we all had decks for those champions. So this was not only the first time they were seeing the artwork for the champions, but actually got to read the champions and see their abilities.
Oh, wow.
And I came in with a Kunn deck. And no one beat my Kunn deck that day. So, and if you beat one of the game designers, you got a little pin with a symbol from the city. So the goal was, by the end of the day, you wanted to collect all 4.
Nice.
I only gave out 2 pins that day.
Wow.
So
very cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember who wound up beating you that day?
I think it was Steve-O and Alex Miller.
I thought you might say Steve-O.
Yeah.
I hear good things. That's cool. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just give you a quick turn. I'm just going to wind up trying to attack for 2 with my...
Just going in for the 2.
I have limited
down
options
to 13.
at the moment. So.
Dash,
Yep.
move.
Ooh, interesting. That's an interesting spot to be.
No, I think I'm... it doesn't matter which direction I face. I'm exposed either or way. Actually, I'm just going to move once and then come here.
Okay.
This still makes me very exposed in a lot of ways. But I think I'm less exposed this way. Okay, perfect. I'll end my turn there.
All right. I'm not dead yet. This feels good. Well, unfortunately, I only have 1 character to play as right now. Yeah. So, and Raha's abilities, are they Swifts?
Yes, yeah, they're both Swifts.
So, I'm going to go over 2 and try and hit you for 2.
Hit me for 2, you got it. I'm down to 11.
Yep. Now you get to take 2 turns in a row.
Yep.
The master plan is coming together.
And this is interesting.
And what's your health total at now?
11.
11. Okay.
You're at 18 still?
16.
16? Oh yeah, Sphinx Sitter got you at 1 point. Let's go forward 1.
Okay.
It's very uncomfortable for me to be face to face.
But they do look great. Couple
yes.
foil champions facing off against each other.
I'm going to drop an air pillar here.
Okay.
I think. No, we'll bring the air pillar out there.
Okay.
So the air pillar, as long as you are on or adjacent to it, you have a weakness to air damage.
Interesting. Okay.
And then I will do 2 holy attack onto you.
But not air.
Not air.
Oh, so I just take 2 damage?
Yes.
Okay. Down to 14.
All right. Now Sphinx Eater.
Yeah.
It's going to come in twice, and he's going to do 2 air damage to you.
Which would be 3 then.
3. Yep.
Okay. Down to 11.
Okay. And then at the end of the Sphinx Eater's turn, I'm going to drop a Wind Slash for 2 air damage.
Like this is something that your
Kunn's doing?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
And targeting you for 2 air damage.
Which really works up to 3.
Yep.
Fine.
Right, and let's do another one.
7, 6, 5.
And we'll leave it there.
All right.
And around.
That was pretty powerful.
Yep.
All right, yeah.
Yep.
So start the next round.
I think I forgot to turn the counter on round 5, so this should be round 6. I just want to keep track for funsies.
Sure. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play Aura Surge. So
Okay.
I'm going to basically mill 4 cards instead of 5, and it'll give me back 10 aura. 1, 2,
Yep.
3, 4 cards going from my timeline to my memories.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I'm getting the word. I'm even getting the words right. This feels good. Okay, that brings me back up to 27 aura for those keeping track at home. And then I'm going to cast something that I think is really cool. Chain Lightning.
Chain Lightning.
So 17 aura. 5, 10, 15.
So I am going to respond to Chain Lightning.
I thought you might.
I don't have stack tokens with me, but that's okay. Goliath Sphinx Eater will put its attack onto the stack, targeting you.
For what, 3 damage?
3 air damage, yeah. Do you have
I don't have a response to that.
Alright, so let's resolve that. And now, while Chain Lightning's still on the stack, I'm going to play Gust for 2 air damage.
From. So I'm going to, while that's on the stack, Luminous Covering.
Prevent the next 2 dark damage. This only specifically prevents
Oh,
dark
it's
damage.
dark damage! Oh, no! All right, you've got me. That's it. You have won the game. Well done, sir. But just for spite, I'll throw my swift attack on to hit you for 2 damage before I die.
You should have came in against the Sphinx Eater, because then you would have prevented that 3 damage if you had killed it before. But
Smart.
yeah, that's what you let them resolve one at a time. But yeah, you got.
Very cool. That was great. Thank you so much for the game, sir.
Yes.
And we'll be back in just a moment to finish up this video and talk about that game of Genesis Battle of the Champions. All right. Well, that kind of worked out just the way I thought it would. I lost to the creator and I bowed to your expertise. The decks worked pretty well, I thought. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you were thinking when you built it.
So this is actually something that a lot of people bring up to me, which is they want to see more deck ideas out there, deck lists, and some things that are a little bit more variety. And one thing that's come over a lot is in RAZE, we released the 4 new pillars: air, earth, water, fire. Yeah. And the air pillar is the one that's kind of the least looked at, because there's no champion that directly does air damage. There's no heavy hitting air card in the game. So originally I sat down to make a Kendra control deck, and partway through I was like, I don't know how to make this work. I'm still having some challenges with it. And I might do a live stream at some point where I get people's input and try to make a group design Kendra control deck. Yeah. But for now, I decided something I'd love to do is the Kunn air deck. So my core focus, like I was saying during the game, I love Kunn. I have a little bit of bias towards Kunn out of the 4 new champions. Yeah. Even though I don't think he's going to be the highest competitive one, he's probably one of my favorite, and I love the artwork for this. So just looking at the Kunn in foil, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm really, really excited about how all the foil champions look. So when I sat down to start making this deck, the one thing I realized was a lot of the amazing air cards are actually really, really low chi. So starting with Air Pillar, which is 5 chi, really easy to put into your deck. It's essential. It's the thing that you're looking at when it comes to making all the air cards work. And you may not think that the weakness of 1 damage matters, but it adds up a lot, especially when you're doing a lot of things that do very, very little damage. So the one card that I saw that comes out in RAZE that is really, really powerful, I used it a lot, was Wind Slash in this game. Yeah. The key to Wind Slash, compared to the other 4 chi equivalents, so it's on par with Flame Jet and Searing Light. But the big thing with Searing Light is it costs just 7 aura, so it's overall a little bit cheaper, but it's action speed. So not being able to do it the moment your opponent attacks, being able to use it in a defensive way, you just can't do that with Searing Light. Wind Slash is swift. If you have the energy reduction, it is super cheap. For a champion like Fong, this is the card you want to be running, even if you're not making an air deck. It's just a really, really powerful card. With that, you got a classic, which is Gust. Yes. I totally forgot that Gust does air damage. So combining it there, it makes it the one really, really potent defensive card that you can run in an air deck. Yeah. One thing that I think is going to be a really, really fun card moving forward is Arcane Blast. Yes, we did model this artwork after the Hadouken from Street Fighter. Yeah. But being able to pick any element and do the 2 damage for it, it's a little bit more expensive than Wind Slash because it's 5 chi over the 4 chi, but the advantage here is that if you're playing against someone who's using other pillars, you can now shift this card over and take advantage of their pillars. Right. Which is going to be really, really useful. Or if your opponent has a resistance to air and you have and you don't have the air pillar down, then now you can shift this over to some other element and still do your 2 damage. Nice. And then one of my favorite cards from Welcome to Jailara, Hurricane Sweep, became a very, very powerful card. 10 aura, 4 energy, dealing 3 damage to all 4 of those spots. This is kind of the bomb in the wind deck or the air deck. There isn't much more. You don't have Tsunami, you don't have Landslide, but this comes really, really close. And with Kunn being able to fly to that spot you need to be, like I did against you, where I flew right between you and your summon, and I did Hurricane Sweep. Yeah, that's one of the things that Kunn can do that no other champion can do. Yeah. So that's very, very powerful. You just had that Cog Restrict that really ruined me in that one moment.
I told you I had a strategy. I didn't know what it was, but I had one.
No, and Cog Restrict's one of those cards I really miss in meta. I think it's a card that should see more play, and I think with RAZE coming out, and as the card pool grows more and more, it may become very preferable because people won't see it coming. Yeah. And that's the big advantage to it. As for the summons, there are only 3 summons that do air damage, and they're all very low chi. So you have the Huajin, which is your 2 air damage, 1 health, 6 aura, very cheap, 3 chi. It comes in very, very low. Nice. Glide Sphinx Eater, which is a card I very heavily play, 10 aura, 2 damage. The Earth Resistance is very important here because you're playing against Erica now, who brings out the Baihus. Those do 2 earth damage. Yeah. And the Formosan Gorillas, which drop in and do 2 earth damage. So all those are dealing 1 less to him, so he survives a little bit longer. Nice. Unlike you played the Martial Sentry. Martial Sentry has resistance to dark damage, which there isn't a whole lot of things that do 2 dark damage. Okay. And it does electric damage, and since there's no electric pillar yet,
what's up with that?
There's no way to boost them to do extra. Where here you actually have the air pillar, which can boost this. Nice. And then I only run 3 of these, but the Vadhis Sphinx, it has flight, it has aerial, it does 3 air damage. It's very vulnerable because it only has 1 health. But the summons that I put into this deck, so the Glide Sphinx Eater and the Vadhis Sphinx, these are summons to drop right behind you. Don't play them in front of you. You can play them to your side, but don't play them in front of you. They're very weak, but as a defense, it's a lot about keeping the focus on Kunn, let them charge and try to kill Kunn, while all your summons are giving you support. Nice. Now, 2 things about this deck so far. 1, it's very, very aura heavy, and 2, it's very, very low on chi. So there gives you 2 advantages here. 1, you can put in a really high chi cards really easily into this deck, but you got to offset it by finding the good energy cards to balance this deck with. And that's where Bolt Shot comes in. Bolt Shot is 7G, so it's really high up there, and it's 4 energy, so it's still reasonable to play, and it just balances everything out in this deck.
Yeah.
And then the last card I put in this, I only am running 2 or 3 of them, but it's really about that one bomb that will just change the entire gameplay, changes the entire scene. Zamber Dragon.
No.
You can't change it. It's so beautiful because you just drop it right behind you. Your opponent can't focus on it because Kunn's in the way. Kunn is always in the way because of his dash ability. And the moment you come close, it's just gonna snipe you for 3. The biggest weakness this deck has is what will happen with Swarms, especially the Necrolich deck, which is coming out. And Zamber Dragon deals with that. It just snipes things out and just knocks everything out, so Kunn can just focus on his main target.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about this deck. I will be publishing the full deck list on our website sometime soon.
Good.
And hopefully people can start recreating it, making their own little twist. The one thing I really wanted to put in, and maybe you can find the image and put this up on the screen at some point, is Elemental Mastery, I believe it's called. It's a, yes.
Right around here in the air. Yeah.
But it allows you to pick an element, and all attack abilities you do until end of round have that element type, which is going to be really useful because Kunn built in only does holy damage. So now you can shift him over to dealing air damage, which is the extra one. But now you can also combo it in with your bolt shots.
Oh, wow.
And then all your bolt shots will do air damage. And then you can do that area 5 damage. And that would be really cool. And it's a really low cheat card. It's either 3 or 4. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Nice.
But whichever one it is, that's going to be really useful. This deck, I think some of the biggest weak points, Swarms is going to hurt it because it doesn't have a lot of things to deal with deal area damage. It has Hurricane Sweep, it has Bolt Shot, but it doesn't have something like Landslide or Tsunami. And then the other thing is the ever dreaded Rain ODK. But the nice thing here is that Kunn starts off with 26 health, which is actually fairly high up there. So it's going to be even harder for Rain to have that on her very first move. And it's going to be hard for, by then, Kunn can get close. Unlike any other champion, Kunn can move 3 spots. So within the second round, he can be in Rain's face and deal a lot of damage.
Nice.
So I'm hoping that this deck stands up. I'm really excited about this one because everyone was kind of bashing on the air decks, and I'm hoping that this can give a little perspective.
Something to prove here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on.
But yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of my deck.
Very cool.
I'd love to hear from other people. What did you think? Is there something that you think I'm missing from the deck? Or would you have run Zamber Dragon? Is there some other summon that you think? Would you think Angel Retribution is a better fit? Right?
I have some love for Angel. So.
Exactly. So I think it comes down to your deck design, but I personally, I have a lot of love for the Zamber Dragon. So
nice.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm disappointed about is looking at your Zamber Dragon. I see a distinct lack of Canadian flags in that artwork. I'm surprised that the creator doesn't have the blinged out versions in his deck. What's going on there?
For all the promos, I did set aside a few of them so that I can play with them and put them in the binder and hold on to them for sentimental reasons and keep the collection alive.
Yeah.
But all my Canadian flag Zamber Dragons are in my Idris Monster deck.
Oh, okay.
So actually all my 3 decks, no, I don't think I'm running Zamber Dragon in my Holy deck. But this deck and my Idris Monster deck are both running Zamber Dragons.
Oh, very cool.
And the Idris Monster deck, I think that's more uniquely mine. I don't think anyone's going to try to build that deck. But that one I'm running the Zambers with the Canadian flag, and it's nice. Pretty awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, that's all we got for today. I got to play my first ever game of Genesis with the creator. Took my lumps like a champ there, and we even got to delve inside his mind a bit and hear what thought process went into building this really cool air attack deck. So thanks so much for coming up and being part of the video today.
Thank you for having me.
It was a lot of fun. And make sure to all our friends out there watching, come back again soon. We're going to have more Genesis content here on YouTube, and we also tend to post a lot about it on our Facebook page, so check us out there. And in the meantime, until we see you again, take care and stay safe out there. We'll see you soon. Go North.
Bye.
Bye-bye.